As a storyteller, it's very important for me to go back on my memory lane and pick stories from my life. Why? Because if there is a story, it means there is struggle. And if there is struggle, it means there has to be a few more people in that story who have really helped me to handle that struggle. You cannot handle struggle alone. It's very difficult to do that. There's a difference between staying alone and feeling alone. You might stay alone in your life and handle struggle, but if you're feeling alone in your life, it's very difficult to handle struggle. So I'm talking about those people in those stories where maybe they were not there physically in front of me. They were there somewhere. But because of those people, I was not feeling alone and I got that courage to handle that struggle. One more thing very important for you to understand, for me to share, even before I start sharing some stories, to say thank you to a few people. Sometimes people believe in this, that they should say thank you only when they achieve something significant. No, I don't think I have achieved any significant thing in my life, but I still want to say thank you. मेरे ख्याल से थैंक यू बोलना किसी सिग्निफिकेंट अचीवमेंट का मोहताज नहीं होना चाहिए कि मैं ये करूंगा then I will say thank you. No. In the last few days, I'm feeling this from inside that I have to say thank you. I have to share some stories with you. And I will use this story as an opportunity to say thank you to many people who have played very important, directly or indirectly, role in my life. And when I'm uploading this video, within my capacity, I will try my best to tag those people, the hero in my stories. In this series, I'm not going to go in my childhood because my childhood is completely different. There are a lot of stories there, but in this series, I'm going to focus only on my professional life. So day one of your professional life, it starts when you get the offer letter. It starts from there only. So I remember I receiving the offer letter as soon as, I think even before this, even before I completed my exams in graduation in pharmacy, there's a place called Pravara Rural College of Pharmacy. So even before we completed the exam, we were so fortunate, even though after many years, I see lots of good colleges in metros and cities, they struggle for campus and kids are cribbing or crying. They say that they're not getting jobs because there are no campus interviews. But even though my college was in interior of Maharashtra, near Shirdi, you have to go further 28-kilometer inside. We had one of the best companies there. So I would like to say thank you to the person who is responsible for that campus interviews. And I think in college, if you have to really say thank you, and if you really think that the college is really functioning well, you should thank the head of that college. And I would like to say thank you to Marathe sir. Oh my God. Marathe sir was the principal of my college in first year also, in second year also, in third year also, in fourth year, I think he was not there. I can't vividly remember that. But in first year, second year, third year, and even I think in fourth year, yes, even in fourth year, he was there. The reason why I was a little perplexed and puzzled because when I was in fourth year, I was listening to this that he's going to go to some other college, he's getting promotion, something like that. But I think he was there in fourth year also. Why? Because when I got selected for SIPLA, someone told me, I overheard this, someone told me this, that Praveen, when the panelists, the interview panelists, when they went to Marathe sir and they were talking about who are the people they are selecting for production and who are the people, who are the students they're selecting for marketing. And I was interested in marketing. So someone said that Marathe sir made a comment on you that this guy can sell anything. So I'm so happy that he showed me confidence. Um, I was not a very good student, by the way, I must tell you. If Marathe sir is coming in any class and picking few people who he wants to punish, by default, I was there in that list. He knew that. But I was not a very good student. But I was not a student who used to break the rules and all, but I was very mischievous. But I was very active in gathering and not in singing, but in performing, in drama and all that. So the first person who has really played a very important role in my life indirectly, just because that person was very honest and very hardworking in his role. Imagine a college where the principal is not that visionary, that hardworking, and there's no campus interview. I would have never joined SIPLA. No, absolutely. So the first person in my professional life, if I go back on my memory lane, maybe I'm missing. I have no idea. As a storyteller, I'm just going on my memory lane, picking few people. So this is not something which is scripted. This is not something I have made a list. I have no list. I'm just going back on my memory lane and picking people. So the first person I would like to say thank you is Marathe sir, and I will tag him in this video. Thank you very much, sir, for your contribution in my life. Number one. Number two, one thing which was very unpleasantly surprised when I got selected for SIPLA. I was very unpleasantly, I was excited. I was super excited, but I was very unpleasantly surprised because the letter which we received, it said this, that congratulations, you got selected for job of medical representative, and then first you will go through medical and then training. After that, we will post you based upon your performances. The letter, they knew that this is the date where we are going to complete our exam. They knew that this is the college where almost 70 to 80% kids are from outside. They also knew that last 4 years, rarely, maybe once in a month or sometimes twice in once in 2 months, we used to go to our home. But the letter was very next day from the same place. You're not allowed to go to home. You have to move to Pune, from that place to Pune for medical test. And I used to feel that why? Why? Now, later on, I came to know there is something called HR department. In the B Farm and all, you don't learn HR department and all. So later on, I came to know there's something called HR department. It's the responsibility of HR department to ensure that there's no filter out. It's like if they're appointing people, they have to take these people on roll. So it should not happen that they're going back to their home and they're getting some other vacant opportunities and they're filtering people. But I was a little unpleasantly surprised. And this has played a very important role in my life, by the way. And I would like to say thank you to that HR. Thank you to that HR. You will understand that maybe later in the story that why I am saying thank you, even though I was unpleasantly surprised at that point of time, but why I'm saying thank you to that HR. I don't know who is that HR. But I would like to say thank you to that HR person also who decided this, that kids are not allowed to go home. They straight away have to take a bus to Pune for medical tests from my college. So the bunch of people, by the way, almost, if I'm not wrong, 15 to 20 people from our college got selected by SIPLA. Then I reached Pune, medical test was done, and they said, now you have to go to Mumbai. There was no discussion. I was feeling that, okay, after medical test, maybe there will be an opportunity for me to go to my native place, Nasik, to meet my parents. But there was no discussion, only because tickets were ready. We got the ticket. They said tickets are ready. And we took the tickets. We boarded the train and reached. There's a place called Anand Hostel in Juhu. Oh my God. Now the problem was this, which was a big problem according to me at that age. We were divided in groups. All 50 to 20 people were selected for marketing. We were divided in groups. And one group was GTF. There's a general task force. Now we were in pharma. So in pharma, general task force means people who are going to sell medicines, which are like antibiotic, generalized medicines. And then specialty task force, like cardiac, like asthma. Now we were in Anand hostel, and it was a typical hostel. What do you mean by that? After 7 or 8 o'clock, you're not allowed to go outside. And then there were some people who are in specialty task force. They were in a hotel like Hotel Sahil, Hotel Balwas. These are good 3-star, 4-star hotel. And there were no restrictions like this. Their food, their rooms, everything was different. And I used to feel that why? Why it's like this? I used to feel bad about it. But we can't do anything about that. 30 days was amazing period. I remember a few things in those 30 days, and I would like to say thank you to those few people. The memory is so faded that I don't even remember the names of all the people. In case if you're listening to me and if you can connect with me, with those people, it will be great, especially those people who I'm tagging. The first is first person, the first experience, the first day, the first hour, and the first minute. I was so impressed by a lady called Rana Pathan. Oh my God. Oh my God. What a personality. She was a training head, and what a personality. Oh my God. It's like when she used to come to that place, not only the students, not only the trainees, even the entire staff, other training coordinators, they were used to enter in some other mode only, a mode of discipline, a mode of commitment, a mode of passion, a mode of saying and doing each and everything carefully. She was just perfect. So I would like to say thank you to you, Madam, Rana Pathan, Madam. You have played a very important in my role in my life, especially in framing my mind, because I was a see when you come from college to training, uh, and if you're a boy who used to tease, used to play mischiefs in the class, we sometimes we do a mistake of treating training programs like that only. But you made it very clear. College is over. Get serious, guys. Thank you very much for injecting that dose of seriousness in us. Very important, but it played a very important role in my life. Then one another incident I remember, and if I'm remembering the incidents, it means there has to be some people in that incident. Is one day when my training was almost over, 25 to 30 days, almost over. And Rana madam said that today is the last day and you will receive awards. And there were awards, detailing awards. Now, in case if you're not from pharma, detailing is like when medical representative go inside the clinic, they have to open the pad, detailing pad, and they have to explain something. They have to demonstrate or they have to put their points in front of doctors. And we believe that these points are effective and these points are very good for doctor to enhance their perspective knowledge about that particular medicine or disease. So it's called detailing inside the clinic. So there was a detailing award and there was medical knowledge award and there was few more awards also, but the two main award was marketing and medical. Marketing means detailing and medical means a knowledge award, medical knowledge award. And we were not aware and we were so pleasantly surprised that to give these awards, Mr. Hamid, who is the managing director of Cipla from the founding family, he came. I said, oh my God, and his personality. And he was so, when he was walking and when he was smiling and the way he was speaking and his command on communication, command on language, thoughts, vision, for the first time for a child who had just come from small cities and from a small college, I said, wow, oh my God. Mr. Amit played a very important role in my life, maybe afterwards. I'm yet to reach this. After many years, I will reach there because I don't want to jump. But honestly speaking, Rana Madam, I was more obsessed with Rana Madam, but I was also obsessed with the position of Mr. Hamid. Even though at that point of time, I was not aware about what you mean by managing director or what you mean by a founding family. You don't have that kind of knowledge. But I was very impressed that someone who is from the top of the company has come to deliver. But the question is, did I receive the award or not? Yes, I did. I did. And I was expecting it. Not detailing, but medical knowledge award. Because I was not, to be good in detailing, you have to be good in communications. I was not that good in communication. But I used to work hard. And one reason I would say that why I got medical knowledge award or good medical knowledge award is because of one lady, one trainer, one teacher. I've never seen a energetic lady like that on the stage even after that. Sandhya Sawant. Oh my God. Oh my, what a lady, what a trainer. So I'm tagging Sandhya Sawant also. uh, the reason I used to like because of the energy, her energy level was so high, and she used to teach antibiotics. Antibiotics are so vast. Antibiotics is a very vast subject, and in antibiotics, it's very important for you to understand that because there were too many uh, antibiotics, there were too many medicines, too many drugs. It was very complicated for Sandhya to teach compared to other teachers like asthma or respiratory, because it was general task force, we were learning everything. Antibiotic to me was one of the most difficult subject to learn, but because she was there, she made it so simple, and she made it so interesting to learn. I might not learn antibiotic in depth, but I might have learned how to teach, and energy level and that excitement and that continuous maintaining the same energy level throughout, and handling some nonsense questions which we used to ask. She never rejected. I just, because there were some teachers, I will not say teachers, there were some trainers, they were not allowing students, allowing trainees to ask questions. But I don't remember she uh, rejected any question. And even if she doesn't know the answer, she handled that very effectively. And she came back to us with a lot of honesty with the correct answers. And I really loved the way she used to teach. So Sandhya Sawant, one very important learning from my 30 days of program, which has really opened my eyes. And it took me almost 40 years to realize this. You will remember this afterwards. What happened? After 30 days, there was a meeting with training coordinators. Now, who are the training coordinators? Training coordinators are under Rana Pathan madam. So they used to report to her. Training coordinators are nothing but the zonal sales managers of various regions. These are the people who used to work in sales, doing extremely well, and they are given a little different assignment for 30 days to manage the training batch. I think that's one of the best way to train salespeople. Instead of having someone who is not working in sales, have someone who is already working in sales. They know the real practical aspect of selling. So on the last day, I was standing in front of them. I was about to get my letter that where I will be posted, where I will be stationed. And they asked us, they gave us the form, and they asked us whether you want hometown only, which was Manasik, or you're open for outstation. Now, a person like me who has a fear of job, we always say preferred hometown, but we are open for outstation also. But somewhere in the heart, you know that no, I don't want to go anywhere. Now I have to go to my hometown, to my place, to my parents. So I was expecting that because I knew someone told me that yes, there is vacancy and Nasik is big. There will be a vacancy in GTF because General Task Force was a big task force. It's like if you are selling medicines like antibiotics, you need more number of people. So I thought I've completed my GTF. I will easily get position and station there in Nasik, and I was ready to go back to my parents. And they said, "This is your letter," and I opened the letter. It was written Karad. He said, the reason why we are sending you to Karad because your communication is very village friendly. And I still remember that line. Your communication is very village friendly. I remember that line, but it took me years to understand that line. What do you mean by that? And I really misunderstood that line, by the way. When you listen to this story, afterwards you will understand this, how wrong I was. And I said, okay. So I said, I have only one question. Where is Karad? Because I've never heard about this place. And I said, I know it's Karad, I have to go to Karad, but I'm not the decision maker in my life. My dad is the decision maker. It's too early for me to take this decision. College is different. You're going to college, staying there for 4 years for education, that is different living home. But going for work where we don't know, college is going to end in 4 years. Karad, I have no idea when it's going to end. So I said, I'm not the decision maker. I have to speak to my dad. And I called my dad. I still remember going outside. If you go to Anand the hostel, and there were no phones inside, so there were phones outside. And in those days, we have to put those coins in that coin box, red color phone. And I put one coin. I said, Dad, I've completed my training and they are sending me to Karad. And he knew where is Karad. And he said, okay, that's nice. Take your bag and go. No problem. Good. Very nice. Not even this much of no, or this much of um, maybe a discussion that, oh no, it's okay. We will see. Uh, do work for somewhere some days, then you can come back to home. Nothing. Nothing. Go. Boss is your fight. Take your bag and move. I would just want to say, I think in my story, if I start saying thank you to my parents, there's endless thank yous. But here, precisely, I would like to say thank you to my dad, because so many parents I see, they stop their kids. They stop their kids. They say, no, I have seen in Marathi, there is a line, or if you can just convert this line into Hindi, that क्या दो रोटी कम खाना बेटा लेकिन घर पे खाना चटनी रोटी खा लेना बेटा घर पे खाना. Why? Your child has all. I think you should give permission. You should give permission to your child to move out away from parents as soon as possible, especially after education. He has all the rights of living his own life, and my parents have understood that very early in their life. And I'm so happy that I'm blessed. And I have my parents like that, with that mindset. So um, then along with that letter, there was tickets. They've assumed that I will not say no. And there were tickets. And again, I was unpleasantly surprised. Imagine on 30th, if I'm completing the training program, on 1st, I'm going to Kolhapur, because first I had to go to Kolhapur, report there to a regional manager, and then from there go to Karad, because Karad was under Kolhapur region. So here also I thought after 30 days spending training, I will go to home. He said, there's a no. And then I reached Kolhapur. Then on that day only, there was a meeting going on. So when I reached there was meeting going on. And I sat there, I introduced myself. It was a good, I'm slowly getting absorbed in the system. And now I have my headquarter, the team. These are the people with whom I'm going to work. I'm going to meet doctors, all the detailing and medical knowledge which we have learned in those 30 days. The time has come to actually meet and practically share all that with those people. Then from Kolhapur, I took a train and then I reached Karad. And they were so helpful that even before I reached Karad, they said, there's already a person in Karad. He's working in GTF, but you are not going to work in GTF. We are putting you in super task force, super specialty task force. I said, that's a pleasant surprise to me. That's a pleasant surprise. And of course, I still not realized that at that point of time. It took me almost 40 years. Recently, when I was just sitting with my wife, then I realized this while we had a discussion on this, that maybe the reason why they have shifted me not to Nasik, to Karad, to Satara, because they wanted someone with good medical knowledge to go to Karad and Satara, because super specialty task force was all about selling HIV medicine, drugs for HIV and AIDS. And in those days, I'm talking about what? I'm talking about 2001. Yeah. In 2001, in those days, uh, the how to treat HIV and AIDS was not covered in medical colleges. So they were highly dependent upon pharma industry, pharma companies. Doctors were dependent on us, and of course other knowledge available online and other sources, or CMEs and meetings and conferences. But even we were the good source of information to them. So, and if that is the objective, that person has a good medical knowledge. They shifted me there because they wanted someone with good medical knowledge in Satara Karad, because Karad, Satara was my area. Was when I was in Kolhapur. They told me that you have to cover Satara and Karad. This is the belt where the HIV prevalence was very high. So something which I thought they're doing injustice with me, saying that you have a village communication or village friendly English, is actually they were appreciating my medical knowledge and they shifted me there. So they said that you are in super specialty and congratulations, you don't have to worry about your stay because there's already a person in Karad. And what kind of, oh my God, what a person he is. In Karad, he's already staying there, and there is a one bed free. There are only two beds in that small room, one bed free. That person has resigned. The other person wants to stay there. You can go there. I said, wow, that's absolutely. It's like it's good. You don't have to struggle to find a place to stay. And I reached there. I reached Karad. The first difference I noticed, and it was a very big difference for me. See, even though Anand Hostel was a hostel, but it was a hostel in Mumbai. It has some facilities, it has some structure, it has some hygiene. Hygiene not from a dirt point of view, but hygiene from maybe from a visual hygiene point of view. But this place is so old. It's like so old. Remember in those, there are doors where you have to put the latch on the top. It was that old door. And I just knocked the door, and Anand Shelar, well, it was Sunday, Anand Shelar was there. And the first time I met this guy, and I love people. I love meeting people. Slowly, I started understanding this person. One of the best hardworking gentlemen I have seen in my life. Best hardworking. I will thank Anand Shalar also because you have played such a strong role in developing my mindset when I was in Karad. I was what kind of person? It's like when when I used to just take my blanket and used to just see outside, I used to see that Anand Shalar is actually packing his bag, putting all those samples and medicines, and he used to say, Praveen, I just met four doctors and I came again just to fill my bag, and I'm still sleeping. I was that lazy. But out of shame, just because this was the guy in my room, out of shame, I used to get up and I used to say, he has done four call. I have not even got up from my bed. I used to get up. Fortunately, he was in general task force and he used to meet 12 doctors, 13 doctors, and I was in a super specialty. So my number of doctors was 6 and 7 or 8, not more than that. I said, wow. And he really inspired me. I worked for a few days, and because of him only, because it was super specialty, I had no direct reporting there. My reporting manager was in Satara. There's no direct reporting there. So if there's no direct reporting in your headquarter, you're free. You become lethargic sometime. That's very negative thing. The initial careers, life, when you don't have someone standing on your head, because you need that push. And I think somewhere he was my push. Because of Anand Shalar, I started working. I started going to field. And when I started going to field, and when I started implementing the knowledge which I learned in Anand Hostel, which was given by various trainers, including Sandhya Sawant, when I started implementing that knowledge, implementing that skill inside the clinic, I started feeling good. I really started. It was difficult, but because that place Karad, doctors were a little open, and doctors were a little ready to listen. Not every doctor. I don't want to be generalized. There were few doctors not at all interested in listening from any medical representative, but because I had good medical knowledge, I started enjoying that. And then suddenly I've been told that, hey, it's enough in Karad, you're doing good. Now you have to shift to Satara. And one of the key reasons why I was shifted to Satara, and it happened very early, I think within 1 or 2 months it happened, because my boss was placed in Satara. That's my assumption. Now I will tag my boss Abhay Gandhi, and Gandhi sir, if my assumption is wrong, please let me know in the chat box that my assumption is wrong. That because you were there in Satara and I was there in Karan, that's the reason you asked me to take my all my baggage, take my bed, take my bag, and come to Satara. But again, they were so helpful. Even in Satara, they said your accommodation has been taken care. There are already 6 to 7 people living in one big hall. You can, if you want, you can just stay with them. And I reached that place, and I could see 3 to 4 beds on the ground and 3 to 4 beds on the ground here. And I could see there's one place empty where one bed can easily accommodate. I knew, no need to ask. I put my bed there, introduced myself to everyone. And then the Abhay Gandhi sir came. He came, and it was little in the evening time. He came and he said, Praveen, just little hi, bye, and a little courtesy introduction and courtesy discussion. And then he said, Praveen, meet me tomorrow at 9 a.m. at my place. And I said, okay, give me the address. And he gave me the address. He explained me the address. I don't remember writing down the address, or I don't remember he giving me the written address. He explained me the address. So next day, I decided to move. I started on time so I can reach, because I knew that I'm not that place is new. And oh my God, if you have not gone to Satara, Satara is like a puzzle. Satara is like Khalcha Road, Varcha Road, Radhika Road, and Satara finish. There are only 3 roads in Satara. But beside each road, there's a series of gullies. It's, it's like puzzle. You can't, if you go inside, you have to go like this. It's like just like a puzzle. And I said, how can I find his room? But when he was explaining to me, I think I could just remember a few things. But fortunately, when I asked few people, where is this place? I could remember that place, Nagar, and where is this place, and where is this place? And fortunately, when I asked many people, I found his room. And one of the key reasons why we could able to build a very strong relationship is because of this. Why? Because I knocked the door, he opened the door, he smiled at me and he said, wow, how can you find this without any help? Good, very nice. One of the key reasons, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, why I had a very good relationship with him, because our relationship started with appreciation. He appreciated, because that was the first one-to-one discussion. Earlier evening when I was meeting, he was still surrounded by many people, just hi, by courtesy. This was the first one-to-one discussion with him. And he started with appreciation, and then he took me to uh, one chemist shop. And he said, Praveen, today's role is only to retailing. What do you mean by retailing? It's called retailing, where you actually have to go to a medical shop and ask that medical shop that, hey, whether doctors are writing this or not. Because if writing, then if you're writing your brand, you can go and say thank you. If you're not writing your brand, if doctors are not writing your brand, you can go and ask to, and maybe request the doctor to prescribe your brand. So he was doing retailing. And I was observing him that he's doing retailing. He's there in Satra since last so many years, and he's doing retailing. I think this chemist, he knows. That's the reason he's answering all the questions. I knew that. I could realize that. But still he was pretending. See the induction. Still he was pretending. He was trying within his capacity best. That, see, boss, this is how you should ask. This is how you should frame a question. This is how, if someone is, maybe a customer is meeting a medical person or that chemist, if customer is talking with that chemist person, don't interfere, because he's doing business. The small things he was trying to project, and trying to trying to train me on those small things. And then he said, now I've shown you how to do this. What you will do now today, this is Khalsa Road, go straight down throughout the day, and if you see a chemist shop, do a retailing. This is your retailing diary, take all the notes, and in the evening we will meet. I said yes. I was super excited, even though, honestly speaking, I never liked that job. I liked the job of, up to some extent, meeting doctors, but I never liked the job of meeting chemists, because medical representative, the status of medical representative in front of chemists, according to me, that not necessarily you have to match this perspective. It's my perspective that even if you're coming from a Mercedes, and if you tell the chemist, oh, I'm a medical representative, still you don't able to gain that respect from them. Unfortunate. That's my understanding. So I never used to like meeting and disturbing people like this. It's just like you're going for a corporate meeting, outside corporate meeting, not your company, maybe a big corporate conference, and someone is eating and you're going and disturbing. So to me, just going and meeting that chemist and disturbing that chemist just like this, I didn't like it. But I had to do it. It was my job, and I started doing. early, maybe around 10 o'clock, I started my work because I still remember, Gandhi sir, after that retailing, you took me for to that place where we had breakfast, and you asked me, will you like, do you like missile? I said yes, and he said Satara missile is very famous, and I had Satara missile, and after that I started walking. 11, 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I was tired because early in the morning I had very little food. There was no water in the bag. And I must tell you, there are few people on the planet, those who belong to a family like average family. Like my dad was a rickshaw driver, so you can understand what kind of family I belong to. So there are few people, they don't have guts to spend money to buy water. It took me many years in my life. Still, sometimes I hesitate to buy water because our definition, the way we look towards money, we feel that come on, we cannot spend money to buy water. It's not fair. So thirsty, hungry, and by 2:30, I was collapsed. I got collapsed. I just collapsed. I started crying on the road. And then I called my dad. I said, Dad, it's very difficult. Very difficult. And I would like to say thank you to my dad because he knows. When I called from Anand Hostel, he said, take your bag and move. But this time, he knows that I need them. So he said, Praveen, don't worry. Tell me what happened. I said, Dad, since morning I'm walking. It's very difficult. He said, don't worry, we are coming. We are coming, son. And they came. And they came with a bike. They came with a bike. I think my father knew that when to leave and when to hold. So in this, it took me many hours in this school of life. If I go back on my memory lane, it took me hours. I think the time is important. So today I will stop here only. And the last person I tagged, I think Gandhi sir. From here, I will take it further in the next episode. But I would like to say thank you to all those people who have played an important role in my story till here. This is Paramaraka signing out until we meet again.